Just a second ago, the man still had an 8-pack, but the moment he stepped out of the nutrient fluid, his entire body instantly shriveled up. It was as if he had turned into a deflated balloon. Thankfully, the man grabbed an apple and stuffed it into his mouth. Only then were his body's cells reactivated. As Aru kept eating more and more, his shriveled muscles gradually returned to full strength. But just as Aru was devouring the food, a seed inside his severed arm suddenly began to sprout. It was completely unbelievable. For an ordinary person, such a serious injury would take at least 10 years to recover from. Yet Aru, despite losing an arm, needed only 2.5 seconds. Before long, Aru had eaten all the food, but it was still far from enough. Without a steady supply of nutrients, his body began to shrink again. Seeing this, the bearded man quickly ordered others to prepare more food. From that point on, Aru kept eating from day into night, but no matter how much he ate, he still felt unbearably hungry. All the nutrients were being absorbed by the cocoon forming around his severed arm. In just one day, Aru's arm had already begun to regrow. The intense pain was merely a side effect. To ease Aru's suffering, the bearded man prepared honey with pain-relieving properties. At this moment, Aru's arm was healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. But suddenly, the bearded man realized they were running out of honey. To save Aru, everyone began harvesting the pain relief bees from the valley. By now, Aru was shaking violently from the pain. He was on the verge of collapsing. Thankfully, the group returned just in time. Meanwhile, Komatsu was preparing to make the legendary century soup. No matter how many times he tried, he simply couldn't recreate the flavor of the ancient soup. So he went to seek advice from the old woman. After tasting Komatsu's soup, the old woman suddenly frowned. She told him that he needed to listen carefully to what the ingredients were trying to say. So Komatsu began trying to communicate with them. Every step was taken with extreme care. At last, he succeeded in creating a crystal clear soup. Unable to wait, he took a sip. An overwhelming sense of happiness surged through him. Suddenly, he realized the soup still wasn't complete. As Komatsu pondered what the final ingredient could be, the penguin began drooling at the sight of the soup, and the moment its saliva dripped into the pot, the century soup was finally born. Komatsu lifted his spoon and took another sip. He had finally recreated the legendary century soup. At the same time, Aru suddenly woke up from his coma. He gasped for air, breathing heavily. Looking down, he discovered that his severed arm had fully grown back. Slowly, Aru stood up. Though they were separated by thousands of miles, the gourmet cells within his body told him one thing clearly: Komatsu's century soup was finally complete.